Last year, a grand total of 46,864 people across the country were released from U.S. prisons. If current trends continue, 75% of these people will end up back in prison by 2021. But why? Why is recidivism so high in our country, and what makes it so difficult for ex-convicts to live a normal, non-deviant life after release from prison? It has to do with the lack of rehabilitation programs offered to those newly released. After they've served their time, they're thrown back into society alone, unemployed, and expected to fend for themselves. Without the helping hand of rehabilitation programs, newly released convicts are faced with the impossible task of rebuilding their lives from the ground up and tend to flounder in this new environment.
The most common issue is people not wanting to give them a second chance. Most employers are very reluctant to give them a chance to try again. They don't want to believe that they can change. So the job front and the home front, a lot of times we find youth, and that's one of the biggest struggles I have, is trying to counsel mom and dad into letting their son or their daughter have another chance. A lot of them have burned bridges with their family as far as theft, threatening their parents and so forth. So mom and dad are finding it hard to believe that their son or their daughter has rehabilitated and they've changed. So that's a struggle, and we do a lot of counseling, not only with the student, but we also do a lot of counseling with the parents.
A big issue for those newly released are the seemingly little things that people on the outside have been working for bit by bit: building credit, employment, obtaining a driver's license, registering to vote, or getting a bank loan. These things take time that prisoners don't have, so when they get out, they don't have the basics, and they tend to struggle to start their new lives.
Well, when you're in prison, you're not building your credit, and it takes credit to have to be able to get a bank loan. You can't walk in and say, okay, I'm straight out of prison, I got nothing to prove, nothing to show you, but I need this to get my life started, and it's not going to happen.
But the struggles of ex-convicts don't just start once they're released. The root of the problem actually begins while they're still in the prison system. In prison, they undergo a forced resocialization process where they relearn what is and is not socially acceptable.
The struggles range from fighting over a molded cookie to fighting over coffee. The battles that they pick up in there are nothing like what they would battle on the outside. The things that we take for granted because we have at our disposal all the time, they don't have. They don't have that disposal. They actually are more bound to their cell, and the luxuries that we take for granted, they fight over.
Basically, it's a resocialization process, because anytime that we are taken from our normal environment and we're placed into something that is considered a total institution, where it strips us as everything that we know. It takes our personalized clothing, it takes our phones, it takes anything that makes us who we are. So then we are put into, as a prison, put into a cell, put into a formatted day every single day. So we are resocialized into behaving and acting as one.
It's clear that more of an initiative has to be taken to help these men and women after they get out of prison so that they can come out and act as functioning, non-deviant, proficient members of society. There are several ways in which this could be achieved.
Therapy would be a lovely thing to also institute into prisons, along with job skills. Here's a plan when you're out. Along with therapy, here's how we help you to mentally reintegrate into society. That's how we're going to reform people and their thought process so the recidivism rate is not as high.
Changes that I would like to see would be maybe more of a allowing more of a program to come in. I think that we could do a much better job on the inside of doing some type of a rehabilitation on the inside rather than waiting till they're released and then hoping that the inmates will go ahead and do a program on their own.